So welcome everyone to this session where we are going to be talking about supercharging our productivity with AI. And I looked into my AI journey as the marketing functions and the founder functions, product management, project management, and self-improvement functions that I used and that I used with AI. And today I have some very valuable lessons that helped me out in the journey. And I'm the founder of AI Buddy Catalyst Labs. We build AI agents and AI solutions for entrepreneurs. So today we will be talking about the use cases I have for marketing and then how I'm using AI as a startup founder. We'll talk about some classic business fundamentals and productivity and project management tips. So we are trying to, right now we are building AI agents for helping entrepreneurs improve their revenue and productivity. And we are also looking for ways to reduce the cognitive load, stress, or exhaustion that entrepreneurs usually face, founders usually face, and the uncertainty of it all. And a little bit about me. So I'm basically, by trade, I've been a digital marketer and product marketer, but I've been the founder of AI Buddy Catalyst Labs since a few months. And I have done an MBA from the University of Ottawa and another MBA from the University of Dhaka. And I have a project management professional certification. And I'm also a certified Scrum product owner. And my hobbies involve filmmaking, music, and mimicry. So I like impersonating. Like one of my favorite actors to impersonate is Rocky Balboa. So like, hey everybody, how you doing? Doing all right. So today we're going to be talking about AI agents, productivity, and it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. So let's talk more about what we are trying to do here. So the journey I've had with AI so far is captured here. Some of my entrepreneurial ventures. I won't jump too deep into it. And before I go further, I just want to remind you that you can ask me a question at any point. I would love to make this a two-way communication. So the journey began in 2023 when I was joining the MBA program at University of Ottawa, and basically I loved how ChatGPT could help me learn statistics way better because I've never been able to ask anyone to explain statistics to me using filmmaking terms. So when ChatGPT helped me understand statistics with that, I kind of had a epiphany. I was like, this technology is going to be here for a long time because the pain it solved for me, it was very complicated, but it got solved in just a few minutes. So then I participated in some startup programs, and then after my MBA, I started working as a product marketing consultant. And then earlier this year, I organized an AI hackathon back in Bangladesh. And without going too much into it, some of these projects were a success, some of them were a failure. But eventually, in May, I started working regularly with Okik, and we served some clients. And then we got into the IOFlex program at Invest Ottawa. And now we are working on this product called Doc Director. Previously, we had built Agent Gigi, and to give you a quick demo, so I can ask Agent Gigi. Agent Gigi, could you tell me my two most important tasks for today? So now what the AI is doing is it's looking into ClickUp to see all the tasks I have. And then it also looks into the knowledge base items for the company. And then
Absolutely. One, record your multi-character video. Let's make viral magic happen. And two, rehearse your self-speech on camera and review the highlights. Conquer these, and you're one power move away from trending status.
Okay. I can also ask could you draft an email for Okik and say that he's doing a great job. So it can draft an email as well. And there are many other automations. But this product was hard to sell because it needs custom installation. And the onboarding process was very complicated. So now we are working with a new product called Doc Director.
Cheerful email to
Okay.
Alkic is now resting in your drafts, waiting to brighten his day. Think Tony Stark level kudos, but with better typing. Let me know if you want to jazz it up with a meme or a pun.
Woohoo. So I can also show you that the email is here. So it's 3:08. The date is here, 3:08. And saying keep rocking. Okay, even got his stuff here. So these are, I just wanted to show these major tech innovations that have been going on, kind of to communicate the fact that generative AI and AI agent building, it's an ongoing technological movement. So it's not just that we are building AI agents out of thin air. These technologies are very much connected with each other, and being able to figure out solutions that help us using this infrastructure, that's one of the key pieces of the puzzle for the whole AI agent building and making useful, meaningful, valuable AI agents activity. So let's talk a little bit briefly about the AI tools I would recommend. So I made a list here. I'll also share later in an email where you'll get the URLs as well, so you can visit and see. So for decision making and planning, I've used ChatGPT and some custom GPTs built on ChatGPT. And automation, I think we are all aware here about N8N or Make, but from our findings and from OKIC, I also got to learn that if we want to scale, or if we want to have like a superior product, then it's better to build from custom. And for different types of content writing, I've used Jasper. And for screen capturing, I've used Loom and Screen Studio. I'm currently using Loom. And using that, with AI, I can cut down the different ahs and ums and filler words, all of that instantly. So the video gets made very, very fast. For productivity and project management, I'm a ClickUp fan, and I use AgentGG, and AgentGG is also through an MCP connected with ClickUp. For video editing, CapCut has been very nice, but Opus clips have really blown my mind. I'll show as we move along how I'm using that. And I actually got, let me check the number. So in August, I experimented and I got, let me share the screen here. So using Opus, I was able to generate a lot of videos in a short amount of time. And when I kept uploading them, I received 22,000 views and then 43 hours of watch time on YouTube and 11 subscribers. And the time it took for me to get these videos done, I would say max 4 to 5 hours. So this was an impossible thing before Opus Clips, but now I'm seeing like a very good possibility that I'll be able to grow the YouTube channel much faster using Opus Clips. For voice AI, 11 Labs is great. And for coding, my team uses Claude. And for video, I've tested VO3 and Kling, but I don't do a lot of video automation or video image generation. For image, Sora and Leonardo AI. If you're interested in songwriting or song creation, Suno is a great tool. I've used Canva for graphic design. And for document generation, besides ChatGPT and Gemini, I also use the tool we built, Doc Director. And for vibe coding, Lovable and Bolt, they're great. For UI planning, I use Stitch with Google. And for GTM sales, this Clay is the best tool so far for lead generation and lead enrichment. But I haven't used Clay extensively. But from my research, this is the tool that stands out because you can build AI agents inside the platform to automate or to enrich the leads and to improve the conversion rate of the GTM campaigns. And for landing page creation, there's a tool called LaunchChain. This is actually built by someone I know here in Ottawa. His name is Daisel, and this is a great tool. Within just 2 minutes, you can have a landing page ready to show to a client. How cool is that? And if we think of a company, or let's say an early stage startup trying to find the ideal customer profile, they can create 5 versions with 5 different messaging in 10 minutes. And then if they spend $50 or do some sort of campaign around each 5 websites, they can test how excited the customers are, they can test the conversion rates, and they can figure out which ICP they should go and they should chase. So this is a great tool, which is just recently I've discovered, and it's been very useful. So is there any question or anything anyone wants to share before we go into the next part? Okay, I guess not, so I'll continue. So the use cases for marketing that I found it useful for 4 core functions, I've used it for strategic planning, content creation, advertising, where it's more about ad spend optimization on different social media platforms or digital marketing channels, and the interpretation of analytics. For strategic planning, deep research is very valuable. Scenario analysis has helped me a lot. So before jumping into a plan, I usually chat with ChatGPT or some other tool if I need to. But I'm basically running different pros and cons and optimistic, neutral, pessimistic scenario analysis. And that has helped me get more buy-in from my clients faster for different ideas. For example, I was trying to convince a client to do their digital marketing, not just on one channel, but on different channels. So spreading the budget across 5 different channels instead of one, because I felt like that would give us a better way to test which channel is giving the client better conversion. So before I talked with the client about this, I discussed with ChatGPT about scenario analysis, the risk review, and a little bit about the budget planning as well. And then when I sat with the client, there was less friction. We just discussed 1 or 2 items, and the client eventually agreed. The other thing I've been very happily creating with AI is ideal customer profile. So before AI, as a digital marketer, it was almost a 3 to 4 hour long task to do a very good job of writing one customer profile with additional buyer journey and other items. But now it's just very, very easy. I have a set of templates. I have some knowledge-based items fed into the AI, and I can very quickly generate and see if this ideal customer profile is actually going to be valuable. And if they are, then what kind of content should I create? So in terms of content creation, I've written scripts with ChatGPT, and for the recent hackathon where my team participated, I recorded the explainer video's audio part, the voiceover part, with 11 labs. And I have actually used Suno to create a song. And then I made a music video on that song with one of my friends. Let me see if it's here. So this is I'll just play for a few seconds, like 30 seconds. The video is real. There's no AI in the video, but the song is completely by an AI, completely sung.
हार माना ना यहाँ मना है, दिल में जज्बा अगर सच्चा है मुश्किल रास्ता आसान ना है रात का
So, yep, that was a very fun activity. We shot last year during the one of the heavy snowfall days, so that was challenging but fun as well. For image and video generation, I've used Leonardo and Sora, but I've stopped using Leonardo AI now because Sora does a pretty good job for the use cases I have. And let me show you what Opus Clips does. Okay, I have to log in for that. All right. So has anyone used Opus Clips here before? You can also type in the chat window, yes or no. Okay. So Abhilash is giving a thumbs down. All right. So Abhilash is in for a treat. So with Opus, you also get some free credits as a trial user. I've now subscribed because what it does is I need to just upload a 5-minute or 10-minute videos, and then it automatically splits that into multiple videos. And if the recording is good, then you get from a 5-minute video, you can get 10 to 15 YouTube shorts created within 5 minutes. And when it's created, you can also go into the editing panel. You can remove all the all the pauses in between just with a few mouse clicks. So within 30 seconds, the video is much cleaner. And you can set your subtitle style as well, but it does the captioning for you. As you can see, you can change the colors here. You can change a specific word, like you don't like this word, you can just delete the word and that particular video and that particular word's caption. So it'll just go, just like that. And this is where it's a great thing where you can also look into the whole video and bring in other parts into this editing project as well. And the best thing that really changed the whole perception for me was the ability to bulk schedule. So you can schedule, like what I did was I scheduled 15 videos in maybe 15 minutes. And it also generates the captions for you. It generates the titles for you. You can check, and you can, for the pack that I use, I can connect up to 5 channels and I can schedule all of them. And then I don't have to worry about it anymore. I just have to go and check the comments when these videos are uploaded, if there's anything to respond to there, or if I have to share it on a different social media. But it's a huge level of workload that's just been lifted from my shoulders. So I've been a big fan, as you can probably sense. So the next is about writing blogs. So I've used Jasper, which is a great tool if you want to do multiple types of writing. But eventually I stopped because I only needed to write mostly social media captions, and I stopped writing blogs. So I don't use it anymore. I'm still relying more on ChatGPT. And I've used InVideo for a client where I had their blog. To make the blog more engaging, I took the content of the blog, wrote a short script for a 60-second video with ChatGPT. And then I used InVideo to create a video. And I used a human because there were some glitches, there were some problems. So it was me, or I hired a freelancer from my contact list, and then they finalized some of the stuff. But what it did for us was within 2 days, we had 2 blogs and I think 3 videos ready. Okay, then with ad spend, this again helped me optimize the ads. I would discuss with the AI, what can we do? This is the situation. And by the way, all the LLM tools I use, I have turned off that the data be shared with anyone. So the data is always secured. And there are also sometimes when, as a marketer, we face mental block. So I found discussing ideas with the AI, whether it's ChatGPT or whether it's the Google AI Studio stream function, that helps me unblock myself. For analytics, I have an interesting thing to show. So I try to visualize the reports. So this is a dummy report I made, but I showed a different version of this to the client that I helped. So we had different ad platforms: LinkedIn, Meta, Twitter, Google, and a PR company. So we have, instead of just giving them a dry Excel sheet or having to work on a PowerPoint slide for a long amount of time, I just made this with Google AI Studio and then shared this with the client. And it was very easy for them to process the information. So this is interactive, it's engaging. It also gives the user freedom to kind of zoom in on what they want to know. And so this is a question that ChatGPT said I might get from founders. So how can founders integrate AI into marketing without it distracting them from building a product and serving customers? And I thought, okay, this is a good question. So one good option is to have custom GPT, so you're not kind of paying for additional like building stuff or additional subscription. If you have ChatGPT subscription, you can build custom GPTs. But if you have the technological know-how, you can also build your own chatbot. And then the repetitive questions that we regularly ask the AI, we can just automate part of that experience. And if we add the knowledge base items that are required, for example, for a marketing chatbot, understanding the different stages of a marketing funnel could be one item. And then the successful marketing gurus like Alex Hormozy, Russell Branson, or from previous era, Brian Tracy, they have useful, valuable contents. But here we cannot directly upload their books, but we can upload the knowledge items that we have, basically just for copyright issues, which is important. And then imagine the person who's using the marketing chatbot, if they have posts or ads or contents that are successful, they can upload that. They can also upload the worst performing posts to give the AI context, like these kind of posts need to be avoided. And the ideal customer profiles that they're targeting, a description of the products or services that they sell, and the PDF of things they enjoy talking about. So this would be helping the AI personalize the content based on the founder's preference, and some timeless marketing principles. And then if there's a system prompt that orchestrates or organizes all this information, so every time the founder is asking a question, boom, they get a lot of answer quickly. And usually, if we want to do everything with a single prompt, it has to be like a large prompt, and we have to do it over and over and over again. So from my thousands of hours of prompting, I've figured out, like, if we already give some of the context to the AI, the next thing we just have to do is ask smaller questions, specific questions, because the rest of the things are already, the AI has been already trained to deal with the other things. Does that make sense? Thanks. Thank you, guys. So the other question is, on my LinkedIn post, I claimed that I've claimed better than industry results as a consultant. So what would be the one specific AI tactic that drove the measurable growth? So I couldn't find a specific tactic. It was always about understanding the core problem, like what blocker was I trying to get rid of, and what was the core problem that could remove this blocker from the workplace. So sometimes it's for a digital marketing consultant gig where I'm optimizing ads. Other times I'm creating an explainer video or writing a blog. Or sometimes we were looking for leads from LinkedIn. So different issues, but it's always about figuring out exactly what needs to be solved and then looking for the AI tool that can do the job. And one of the best cases has always been to kind of understand or anticipate the arguments that we will be getting from a client, or the common objections that we will be getting from a client or a team member. So that kind of planning, I've really found the AI to be helpful. And eventually, when you do it a number of times, your brain also gets wired. So you kind of you as the human have also been trained, if that makes sense, by doing this activity, this exercise regularly. So this is what I found to be a very useful process. And for some use cases for founders, I found rehearsing my pitch for the IOFlex program at Invest Ottawa, like for this use case, was really, really helpful because I was completely blocked. I had a PowerPoint slide with like 2 or 3 slides and I didn't know what to do. So I connected Google AI Studio Stream, and then it started a conversation with me like, hey, Sohan, I see on this pitch deck, you've IOFlex program at Invest Ottawa is written. So what do you want to do? And I was like, I started talking with the AI. I asked it for review. Like I said, you pretend you are the investor and I'm pitching to you. So does it make sense? Give me ideas. So it doesn't really give you any direction, but it asks you questions. Like it asked me some questions that really made me think and adjust my approach. And after 7 or 8 minutes of talking, a conversation, that blocker went away and I could focus. And in the next hour, I got the pitch deck done, which is a very painful thing for some overthinking founders like myself. So that was a very useful, very fond memory. And then financial projects or assessing the runway. So I do this regularly. And that's where AI helps me. And scenario analysis, as we've already discussed. The other thing is the task prioritization and long-term reminder. So the agent Okik and I built called Agent Gigi. That's what it does. It sends me a morning mail. It sends him a morning mail with the prioritized task list. So we don't get distracted by FOMO, like AI FOMO. Oh, here's this new tool we need to learn about. But we are being distracted from like selling to a client. So now we know, because of the AI, we know what are our priorities. And then I also get multiple reminders on Telegram throughout the day. By the way, Matt here has also built a tool like that called Sparky. And Sparky is like an accountability bot that helps build productive habits, and there's a few other things as well. But this Telegram bot really helped me. The Agent Gigi's Telegram bot, 4 times a day, it reminds me about the top 3 tasks I have to get done on that day. And just a quick note here, it's not that the AI is always correct, but it gives a way, it's a way for me to check back, like, okay, maybe I don't agree with task number 1, but task number 2 or 3 or 4 is usually one of those things that I really have to get done to earn more revenue or to build a better product or to delight the customers, and so on and so forth. Besides all these, the last 2 are both use cases from Notebook LM. So we have in our office workspace email account with Google, we have a Notebook LM where all the company docs are there and latest industry reports are there. So whatever decisions we're making, we can discuss there and figure out what should be the next best ideal move and what would be the risks and other things that could come with that. And all those strategizing activities have been made easier by Notebook LM. And I'm a fan of journaling. So I have been journaling on Google Doc for a few years now. So I fed those documents separately on Notebook LM, and I figured out some negative patterns that I have, which are not so productive and which kind of are a bit self-destructive. So now I'm checking myself so I don't do those things anymore, and so that I can break the habit pattern. And about the there was another thing which is not on the slide. Some of the business fundamentals that I wanted to discuss would be, one would be to work with good data. So there's this saying you may have heard, garbage in, garbage out. So if we don't update the knowledge base from time to time, we are kind of using previously updated data, so which is not latest. So our outputs would not be as good. And the refining of the prompts as well. So if we use better prompts, then we get better results. Especially with ChatGPT 5, I had to really adjust the way I was prompting. But now, again, like ChatGPT understands what I'm trying to get out of it. And so the garbage in, garbage out is a very important thing to remember in this journey. And the other thing would be that it's still a human journey. Like when we do business as founders, we are still going to a person to sell something or to ask for an investment or to ask them to join our team. So even though we have all these cool AI automations and everything, I think it's still a fundamental thing that we should understand what people want, what they're expecting, and if we can provide that. So we don't over promise, we under promise and we over deliver. So that's a classic business success strategy. And the final thing is to reflect, let's say, reflecting regularly on how we are using AI and how we can use it for better purposes. That activity every 2 weeks, maybe every month, really has been a game changer for me, because some of these tools I've stopped using. I've tried many different tools, and some just stuck with me through the journey. Others I stopped using. So these are the takeaways I would say I have, is like planning and reflecting on the AI journey, refining the knowledge base items and prompts, working more closely with humans, and thinking in a pro-human and pro-planet AI way. That's what I suggest, because when we see that some people or some when we see this communication about AI taking away jobs, it could create a distance between the users and AI and regular users who are not builders like we are here. So when they think of a technology as evil, that goes into a weird place. And we also want to use AI, like all the technology I showed in the beginning. We want that to be a helpful technology, not something that's creating more problems into people's minds. Like, will I have my job? Is this being invented to make me poor? Like, we don't want to go there. So that's what I propose. Like, we think pro-human and pro-planet, because the technology uses different resources, especially water consumption. So, and the servers that need to be built, it also consumes space. So we have to think of the sustainability point of view as well when we're building smart, meaningful, and useful AI agents that last us through centuries and help us a lot. So that's pretty much it. That's all the things I wanted to discuss. We could discuss now if you have any questions. And Aukik is technically very sound, so any technical questions we could also take now.
Well, I don't have any questions right now, but it's interesting that even though you and I work as a team, I'm still learning a lot today. Like many of the use cases and the work you presented are new to me as well. This is actually the first time I am seeing much of your work in detail, and it gives me a clearer picture like how AI can boost productivity, especially for less technical use cases. I use Cloud Coder a lot and other development tools, but these are some use cases I've just discovered, and it's quite interesting.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think there's no more questions. Thanks. Okay, so Matt says, thanks for the talk. I'm looking forward to checking out the AI tools you mentioned. Cool. I'll send you an email, Matt, and you can check it from there. And Abhilash said, I have to step out now, but I love this session and I'm going to watch the rest of it once you share the recording. Okay, thanks for that. We have some time left. Do you want to see the tool that we are building right now called Doc Director? Yes, you can give a thumbs up if you have time. Woohoo. Okay, so let's take a look at Doc Director, which is a startup. It's a document generator for startup founders. And startups can create the documents that, oh, sorry, we're in a different window. All right. Okay, so when a new user joins, it asks for this information. We're changing this to a chatbot now for better experience. Okay. So this is still in staging, so you're getting like live view from the staging environment. So using this pack, the Startup Accelerator pack, when a startup founder joins an accelerator program, they have to create all these documents, business model canvas, they have to describe their products and services, they have to write about their ideal customer profiles, they have to find their competition and analyze what kind of strengths they have, what they're doing right now. They also do a SWOT analysis where they're analyzing the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats of this business. And based on these documents, eventually they plan the go-to-market strategy. They think of the pricing, sales strategy, and there's usually a summary of all of these documents are part of, let's say, a big folder, because it's in total it's like 60 pages of documents that gets generated. So these 60 pages could use an executive summary. So we also have that. And we added another document where there will be a list of questions that the interviewers would be asking. So what would be their review of the business? So all of these documents could be produced in under 10 minutes. And the startups were trying to accelerate their business. They can use, if they have an existing website, that website. If they have PDF files, they could also upload that. And then they can prompt the AI to generate the documents for them. Okay. So that's the best use case we have, but that's not all. We also have other templates that we're working on, which will be about go-to-market, which will be about sales. We are not looking into finance right now because it's in the next roadmap. Like most probably in November, we'll start working on that. We recently started working with the legal team as well. So they are helping us build the legal template as well. So things like founder agreement, terms of services, privacy policy. The first draft could be created without a lot of the hassle that usually startup founders face when they try to get these things done. And why are they so effective? Because because I've done my MBA and I have used my network, people in my network, to help me review the documents and improve the prompts. So someone who does not have the knowledge from an MBA, they could easily use the knowledge base that we have created. We are now also uploading successful pitch decks from publicly available information of highly successful startups. We are also uploading investor memos, actual investor memos that have been used to raise funding. We are also uploading industry information. So when these things all come together, any startup founder who's really looking for planning support is going to find a great best friend, hopefully with Doc Director. And you can also, after generation, you can share this. You can generate a link and share this with the other founders you may have, or other team members, or a potential investor, and continue the journey of building a startup and taking it to the next level. All right, then. So I guess there's no more question. Is there any question about Doc Director? When do we launch? Oh, thank you, Matt. So our launch date is coming very soon, this week. We have been falling into the engineering dilemma, where we're just trying to engineer more and more to give a superior experience. And I really want to do do such a good job that people get super excited. So we are now, as I said, we're trying to have an onboarding chatbot instead of that static form that you were seeing, which just kept blocking us without the information and stuff. So long story short is this week for sure. But the date I'll let you know as soon as we do the next stand-up meeting. So, and you'll be able to try it right away. The site is already function. Do you have anyone who is outside of your organization that is using it now? I think, I've helped some people with their company's evaluation, but I don't think we have a live user. No, we don't have someone who's regularly using it and telling us that, oh, this is great, because we haven't really done the marketing that way. So far, I've approached people and I've said, hey, there's this tool. Do you want to use and see how just tell me like what it looks like. We haven't taken that whole, it's ready for customers and try it approach. So no, we don't have it. One thing happened was I got a sale from a client for a different software, but using this, they got the confidence in us that, okay, let's build a software together. So that's the tiny success story over there. And with these vibe coded, a lot of these vibe coding options are there today. So I feel like I have to do a great job with the prompting and the contextual information that we are feeding. And now we are creating a list of information we want from the founders themselves. Because if the founders only upload 1,000-word document or just their website, then the AI doesn't have enough context about their entire business, the landscape. So we need a lot of different documents for the strategy, from the strategy department, from the marketing department, from the operations department. And a startup doesn't really usually have all those departments. It's usually 1, 2, or 3, or just a small group of people working. And that's why now we're trying to optimize how much data do we ask from initially, and how do we kind of regularly keep asking the user to give us more info about their business so we can give them a better output. Because that's where the gap is. If the founder doesn't feed us enough good data, then it's still going to give sort of like a generic output based on our prompting and our knowledge base items. All right, then. So I guess this is it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. And it was a blast getting the opportunity to present all these ideas with you. I'll share an email, and we'll also have a very short survey, just 3 questions, very simple questions. Feel free to fill it up for us and let us know so we can hold more sessions like this. There are so many different things that are still that I couldn't fit into this session. Would love to host more of these in the future. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.